This week on the Digital Coffee, LinkedIn has updated its algorithm. TikTok may get rid of the Discover tab. Why would they do that? And Facebook lead gen ads just got better. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb. I am grabbing this mug. This mug may never have actually had coffee in it because, as you know, if you're a regular viewer, I am not allowed coffee before the show because I talk way too fast if I have coffee. But I would love to know what drink you are sharing with me today. Are you drinking tea or coffee while you're watching this? Are you having a nice glass of water? Are you having something more refreshing? Do let me know. I have got tons of news for you today. I can see a big shout out to people watching on Facebook, including Katie, who said good morning, just like I do. And that mug is pretty cool. Well, one day I have drunk out of it. I just don't think I've had coffee out of it because it's always that time of day. I have had some caffeine. I am caffeinated. I have had tea. Do let me know if you're watching on LinkedIn. I can see we've got some people there. And if you're watching on YouTube, a special hello to you. I can see we've got Marion. Great to see you here, Marion. You're having coffee. Great stuff. There we go. There's James over on YouTube. So LinkedIn, you're letting me down this morning. Let me know if you're watching on LinkedIn. James, there's some stories about lead gen ads I'm not sure if you know about. Maybe you do. Very exciting. I think it's very exciting. I've moved around slightly. I keep hitting my telescope. That's not a euphemism. Hello, May King. Don't forget, now making tea is drinking tea. Loose leaf Darjeeling, which sounds beautiful, at 10:30 a.m. So after this show, if you want to come and have a chat about these stories in some more detail, over on Twitter, join myself and May King Sang, where we will talk about these stories in more detail, and you can come in and have your say as well, which I'm hoping James will on the Facebook ads story. Without further ado, LinkedIn, you're still letting me down, just saying. If you're watching on LinkedIn, come and say hello in the comments. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go and tell LinkedIn off or something.
Hi, I'm Danielle from Webb, and you're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now tell me, when you log into LinkedIn, do you find the content interesting and engaging? If you don't, there's some good news because LinkedIn is updating its algorithm with that in mind. There are some other things that you can do to help with that, but LinkedIn has that in their head. They want the content that you see when you log into LinkedIn to be more interesting and relevant and more engaging, more likely for you to actually post a comment or engage with it in some way. So it's updating its algorithm with that in mind, which includes making it easier to tell LinkedIn if you don't want to see that sort of stuff. Now, you can already do this. You can hide all posts from people, but now there's three little dots at the top of a post. When I say now, I don't have it yet, but at the three little dots at the top of the post, there's going to be some additional options to hide a specific post, hide all posts from that person, or even to report it, much like you can on other social networks. Secondly, if you're in the United States, which I know nobody live is because this will be the middle of the night for you, but if you're in the United States, you will be able to tell LinkedIn that you want to see less political content. No more political content, please. I think that should be an option everywhere. This is going to be important though when you're posting, because having seen the issues with Facebook ads and the issues around politics, and you're not allowed to run political ads unless you've kind of applied, you have to be really careful with your language on LinkedIn in your regular posts. I guess just in the United States, or if you're trying to reach people in the United States now, because I was getting ads flagged that included words like tax, and I was using the word tax in a humorous way, or, anything to do with campaigns or anything to do with politics at all. So I guess you just have to be aware that this is a thing and to be careful with your language in the future. You're going to see more posts from people in your network and fewer posts from people outside your network. So your network, as far as I remember, is first connections, second connections, and third connections. That is your LinkedIn network. So anyone beyond that, at the moment, somebody in your network could comment on somebody's post way outside your network, and that would appear in your feed. You're going to see less of that happening. Again, this means you may want to tweak the way that you're using LinkedIn. If you're using commenting for visibility, just to be aware that you are going to appear in fewer feeds if they are outside your network. Some people are going to love this. Fewer polls. If you find that your LinkedIn feed is full of polls, you are going to see fewer polls. You're going to see fewer polls from people outside your network once again, but you're also just going to see fewer polls in general. They're going to show you polls that they feel are relevant to you. And that, I think, is a good thing, but also it means that algorithm hack's gone, right? That was something you could always do to make sure that you got extra reach and engagement, was to run a poll. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. And finally, and I think most interestingly, it's going to show you more content from the people that you follow. And this has shown a real swing on LinkedIn. LinkedIn clearly want people to follow people rather than to make that direct connection every single time. And I think that is solving a problem, because I remember when LinkedIn was a reasonably new network. Yeah, I've been on it that long. I remember when it was a reasonably new network, and the whole point was that you'd only connect with people you knew, because it was a referral network essentially. So over the years, obviously, people have had their own connection plans and connected with more people or less people. Whatever suits you is fine. But the follow button gives us that other option. It gives us that option to follow content with someone without making a connection. And that makes sense, obviously, for a lot of, I want to say celebrities, but I know Stephen Bartlett from Dragon's Den has been really popular on LinkedIn recently. And that's because people are following him. He's not going to connect with everyone. So they're going to start showing you more stories from the people that you follow. We've seen the creator accounts also prioritize following on LinkedIn. So I guess there are two ways that you can look at that. If you want to be a thought leader, you obviously want more followers. If you're in business, you probably want to connect with people within your target market or people that you want to do business with. So there's the two options there now, but definitely LinkedIn is pushing that follow. I can see we've got a few comments coming in. Thank you, Katie, for swinging over to LinkedIn for me. Thank you. Just to know it's working properly, it's always a relief. Actually, we get quite a lot of viewers on LinkedIn. You're just very quiet, you LinkedIn people. I can see we've got Deirdre here. Good morning, Deirdre. Lovely sunny but windy morning. We've had all the weather this morning already here in Athy. It was actually quite grey skies. It actually looks like it might rain, but I'm sure that won't last long. Yes, Katie, you can follow people instead. So if you're not connected to someone, you might see that instead of connect, that follow is the primary call to action. That's happened a lot since people have switched to creator accounts, because if you switch to a creator account, that has to be your primary call to action. Yes, less polls on LinkedIn. I think we'll all be happy with that, because they did kind of clutter up the feed for a while. And then, of course, because they were cluttering up the feed, we realized that was a really good thing to do if we wanted to reach extra people.
I'm Ant McGinley, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
On TikTok, the Discover tab is where the magic happens. When you log into TikTok, you see the Discover tab, and it's full of all those really well put together videos, the funny ones, the really popular ones, the ones with the great tips. It really is what makes TikTok so addictive. So this thing that TikTok are trying really baffles me. They are testing replacing the Discover tab with a Friends tab. And I've just seen I've got a comment still on the screen, so I'm going to get rid of that. Just one sec. And this is just going to completely replace Discover. The Discover tab will not be there anymore. And what you will see in this tab is just videos from your friends, which is just like the For You tab, right? That's what For You does on TikTok at the moment. TikTok users are not impressed because Discover tab is where you can go to, one of the reasons TikTok has been so popular is you can go over to TikTok. If you get a video in the Discover tab, you will get thousands of followers quite fast. And then, of course, you've got a nice captive audience to talk to. So TikTokers aren't impressed because where this has been tested, people are seeing massive decreases in the amount of views that they see on their video. I have been trying to work out why TikTok would do this. And to be honest, I'm a little bit stumped. Could it be because now, that they built their good amount of users, they feel that people should be more connected with the people that they follow and they want to make sure there's more engagement going on there? But then why get rid of Discover completely? Why not just make the For You tab the one that you see when you log in? Or maybe they feel that when people log in and they see the Discover tab and they see all the amazing videos there, because honestly, well, the quality's gone down of late, but it is pretty amazing. People feel that they're never going to be able to create a video like that, so they don't create content for TikTok. I honestly don't know. That's just me after thinking for a long time, that was the only two things I could come up with. It's not popular with users. Maybe it will never get rolled out fully, but it just seems baffling to me that they would do it in the first place.
Hey, I'm Christine Gritman, and you are watching The Digital Coffee with social media superstar Amanda Webb.
It's spammy, it's annoying, it is now my new favourite word. Copy pasta. Copy pasta. No, I'm not going to make some Italian food. But I love this. This is definitely my new favourite word. What is copy pasta? Copy pasta is something that happens on Twitter, and you may have seen it yourself, where multiple accounts, like a lot of accounts, will copy and paste the exact same tweet, either as a standalone tweet or as a comment on somebody else's tweet in a Twitter thread. And this is against Twitter's terms of service. So already it's something that you're not supposed to do, but now they're finding ways to crack down on it. So firstly, why do people do this? Well, it's a way that people have found that they can hack trending topics. So if they get a lot of people to tweet the same thing around the same time with the same hashtag, it will trend. It's a way to get into search results for a particular hashtag or a particular thing, because you'll end up at the top of search results. That seems to be it, really. Get more awareness for whatever it is that you're doing. So the way that Twitter are going to tackle this is by using the algorithm. They're going to demote tweets that are duplicate tweets. Not just, if you've posted the same tweet twice over 2 weeks. It's not that they're looking for. It's these hundreds of multiple tweets all saying the same thing. So they're going to demote it by firstly making sure it doesn't appear at the top of search results for a particular topic, for making sure it doesn't have any effect on trending topics, for making sure that it doesn't appear in the feeds of anyone that isn't following that account, because that's when it can get really annoying, when you see lots of tweets all saying the same thing. So instead of it appearing if somebody that you follow likes it or retweets it, that's not going to appear in your feed. If it's about a topic that you follow, it's not going to appear in your feed. I do feel there was another thing that they were going to do in replies. So this can be, I saw someone talking about the fact that in NFT threads, I hate saying those letters because I feel I'm going to get spammed. You see a lot of these spammy comments, the same thing over and over again. So they're going to demote those in the comment threads. They say they're going to downvote them, which remember is something that Twitter has been working on, so that you see the relevant conversation first. So Elon Musk, it's still free speech. They're just demoting it. That's all they're doing. This, of course, is good, because this isn't fostering good conversations on Twitter. It's not a good way to get more engagement. It's not a good thing at all. It is just spam. But I do worry that it's going to have a knock-on effect, because maybe you're an agency or a business working with creators or influencers, and it's common practice for you to send some suggested tweet copy to those people, and a lot of those people might tweet the same thing. Are they going to get caught up in that spam trap? Which obviously means influencers and creators will need to work harder, but it also means for the people, maybe you're just going to get a lot less action, particularly if you're not paying for it on stuff that you send out. And the second thing I worried about is, what if you have a really popular blog post and you've got that tweet button on a blog post and it auto completes the text for you? If a lot of people tweet about your amazing blog post, maybe that's going to get caught up in the spam trap too. It's an interesting one. I do think it's a good thing. And I also think, thank you, Twitter, for bringing such a wonderful word as copy pasta into the world. Good morning. There is, I can see KT over on LinkedIn says yum, because we were talking about pasta. It is one of my favourite foods. Good morning to Kate McQuillan. So we got all the Kates here today. Great having a cup of tea. Good. Glad to hear it. Katie says she's interested to hear what's going on Twitter. We've another Twitter story coming up shortly, so do stick with us. Who did I press last time? I feel like I didn't press this one, but hey,
I'm Ian Anderson-Gray and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now that one's really short. According to Meta, I'm never going to get used to saying the word Meta instead of Facebook. According to Meta, businesses are seeing success from ads on Facebook and Instagram that open up in a WhatsApp message. They're finding that it's helping them get discovered, and it's helping them to open conversations with people. And because of that, Meta are introducing some new tools to WhatsApp. Now, we've expecting this for quite a while, because remember there was this whole privacy thing that you had to sign into, and there was a whole hoo-ha, and everyone left WhatsApp. Well, I didn't, but I hardly use it. Everyone left WhatsApp because they were linking Meta and WhatsApp on a deeper level. But this allows us to have some new toys. And one of the new toys we have here with WhatsApp is that you are going to be able to create your Facebook /Instagram Meta ads within WhatsApp itself, instead of having to go off to Facebook or off to Instagram to create them. The ads aren't going to run on WhatsApp. WhatsApp will still be ad free. They are going to run on Facebook, but the whole creation process will happen within WhatsApp. Another update though, which is pretty cool, is that now when you open up Business Suite, or soon at least, when you open up Business Suite, you'll be able to get messages from WhatsApp into there, which means you don't have to keep logging in and out of different applications. You'll now be able to get your Facebook messages, your Instagram direct messages, and your WhatsApp messages in one place and respond to them all from that one place. And I think this will be a relief for a lot of businesses who are finding, it very difficult to skip between all those messaging apps. I know I often miss messages on Instagram, for example, because I don't log in there enough. Yes, I should log into Business Suite, but hey, it's not my thing at the moment. So I think this is really good news for what people that are using WhatsApp for business. And it's only the beginning. We are going to see a whole lot more of business tools now that this full integration has happened. Are you all talking about pasta still? You love the word copy pasta. Also, good morning. You're having Darjeeling as well. Howard Howie's having Darjeeling, and also May King is having Darjeeling. Interesting use cases that might get scooped up in that Twitter update. Yeah, I'm wondering what will happen. But hey, look, we can't rely on Twitter at all until we know what Mr. Musk is going to do with it. Yeah, copy pasta, a concern for creators. I think more so it's going to be for the micro creators, because, I would be on a couple of those lists where I'm technically an ambassador for a couple of companies, and they would send me suggested copy, and, I just throw it out there. I would love to customize it myself, but I don't always do that because, they're not paying for my time. So I'm just going to throw it out there, and I won't be able to do that anymore. I see both Making and Howard Howie know that they're both drinking it. Creating ads within WhatsApp is mind-blowing. Would not have predicted that. I don't think it is for like advertisers that are doing hardcore advertising, but I think for small businesses, this option is going to be really good. Gluten-free pasta for you. Okay. Gluten-free copy pasta. Let's go for that. Okay. I hope this one's longer. I know it's not. As soon as I see the button, I know it's not longer, but hey, let's go.
You're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Lead forms on Facebook and Instagram advertising have become more relevant, I'd say, since the iOS 14 update. So if you don't know what these are, you can create what they call a lead gen ad. And when you create that, you can add a form to that ad that it doesn't send people to your website. It actually opens up within Facebook or Instagram now as well. And people can complete their details. It actually will scrape their details from their Facebook or Instagram profile and put them in for them. But you can add other questions afterwards. So they're really good for kind of inquiry forms or quotes or for delivering lead magnets. And the reason that they're more important now is because they're still trackable, 100% trackable, because all the action actually happens on Facebook. You can see when something converts. And secondly, you can retarget the people who opened up the form and maybe didn't complete it. So it's one of the tools in Facebook's arsenal that shouldn't have been affected quite so much. Obviously, the targeting you're still affected, but they work more. So it's no surprise really that Facebook is updating these forms. And actually, I think it's doing some really cool things. And when I say Facebook, I do mean Meta. Meta is doing it because the first update is for Instagram. So if you're a service-based business, this one is going to be big for you. Now on Instagram, you will be able to add a get a quote button to your profile, and you will have a sticker for your Instagram story. It's called Get Quote. And when you add that to your stories, when people either click that or if they click the Get Quote button on your profile, it will open up a lead form. And on that lead form, you can ask a few questions that are going to help qualify that person. So you'll know, one, are they going to be a good customer? And secondly, when you get on a call with them, you'll know exactly what it is that they want. So that's the first update, very Instagram. The second update is that you'll be able to filter the leads that you get. So you can have all these different questions coming in already on your form. There's lots of different formats, including a multiple choice question. But now you're going to be able to filter the leads that you get by their answer to a multiple choice question, which is great because you do get some poor quality leads coming in through those lead forms, maybe because they're quite easy to fill in and there's less friction. But now you will, with that qualifying question, you will be able to know which ones are actually relevant to your business. So which ones to follow up in which way. Or this could also work if you've got different target markets. You want to make sure you're sending the right follow up to the right people, which is fantastic. And again, itchy. This is all happening in Facebook. So, it can all be tracked within Facebook. The third one is big for me because this is a big part of my strategy is lead magnets. At the moment, if somebody fills in a lead form, you have to zap them over either to a website to tell them this is where you download it, or you have to hook it up to your CRM where it will deliver an email with your lead magnet. But now you're actually going to be able to deliver and complete that transaction, that lead magnet within the lead form itself. I'm excited about these updates. It's enough to make me look at lead gen ads again. And I've been running lead magnet ads to my website. So I'm tempted to do a little bit of a test to see which one delivers the best quality. I'll think of a parameter. Is it lead gen ads or is it going to be conversion ads? I think this is going to be fantastic. And I'm hoping we're going to see more in the future. And also it's nice to see a bit of a push towards service-based businesses because Facebook has been about shopping so much. It's nice to see these tools. We're still talking pasta. Basil pesto, penne pasta. Yummy. Yes, indeed. Pretty much pasta with anything is yummy. Get a quote story sticker. Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? I don't know if Katie's reacting to the pesto. to the story. We need to have a sub show that is all about pasta now, don't we? Don't we?
Hi, I'm Kyra Fingleton from Glamping Under the Stars, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Meta has decided that it's all about short form video again. It wants your video content again. Well, it looks like that's the way it's going, because that used to be the way, right? When live video like this came out, you would get 30 or 40 viewers. It would push this into the feeds organically of people without even thinking about it, without having to do all the promo. You would get lots of people coming in and watching a live show. And it was the same for video content. It was really pushing that video content. And then one day, they cut it. They took the priority away from video. We're not quite sure why, but that's Facebook's prerogative, Meta's prerogative, that they can do these things. But it hurt a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses actually went out of business because they've been heavily relying on these tools. What did Facebook do next? Well, it was hard to know what you could do. They were talking about stories, but I didn't see stories on business pages ever taking off. They went into news. They decided they wanted to clean up their news. They wanted news to be more relevant. They wanted to get rid of fake news. So they added this news tab in some regions. We never had it in Ireland. And they offered a revenue share to publishers. So they actually partnered up with publishers, the same publishers whose videos they killed, and gave them a revenue share for the content that they displayed in that news tab. It was all about news. But they've just told those publishers, we don't want your written content anymore. We're going to give you more money if you do short video content. So video is back on Facebook. And they have given us some statistics here for Meta, not Facebook. Reels make up 20% of the time that people spend on Instagram, 20% of the time. And this is just, remember, we're only a short way into Instagram's video journey here, because they started talking about, being a video platform, towards the end of last year. So 20% is pretty significant. Get this though, on Facebook, 50% of the time spent on Facebook is spent watching videos. So if you have stopped doing videos because your reach was declining, now is the time to rethink your video strategy. Good news for those people like me who like making videos. We're going to see more of it in the future. I'm just reading James's comment. It's from the last one, but I'm going to put it up there because this is the one I'm most excited about too. Wait, what? Dealing with the lead magnet straight from Meta. Yes, exactly. You will be able to upload the lead magnet and people will be able to download it without you having to hook it up to your CRM. Obviously, you're still going to want to do that because you're collecting email addresses, but you won't need to worry about the complications of getting the lead magnet. Oh, wow, says Katie. Yeah, good news for you as well, Katie, because you're a video person. We're going to get more reach with that. In 3 months' time, they might change their mind again. And that is the downside. If you are reliant on your social networks, you really do need to chase these the way that they decide to show content to people. So we can only see. Have I run? No, I haven't. It's actually impossible for me to run out of videos. I have loads.
Hi, I'm Charlie Lawrence and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Instead of quote tweeting, so quote tweeting is when you retweet a tweet, but you write your own comment above it. Instead of quote tweeting, soon you're going to be able to start a space from a tweet. It's going to be an option in the same place where your quote tweet is. When I say soon, this was found by Jane Manchun Wong, who is a reverse engineer. So she looks at the back end of the code and she can see what they're working on. So they're working on start a space from a tweet, which is an interesting one, right? Because one, Twitter Spaces, the audio chat rooms from Twitter, are obviously still a big thing. Secondly, my first thing with this was, oh no, this is going to be like subtweeting, but people will be able to start a whole space bullying people. So let's hope that isn't what happens. I've been trying to think of good uses for this, and there are some, because Imagine you wanted to find what the hot topic for your space was going to be this week. You could put out 3 or 4 different tweets, see which one gets the best engagement, and you could start your space from that tweet. It would be really cool if you're actually able to schedule that space from that tweet. So once you know which one got the most engagement, which one people are most interested in, if you could schedule it, and then that tweet is going to be the topic. I'm looking forward to seeing how people use this, and I hope people aren't going to use it for bullying, because if they do, I don't want to know them, to be honest. Don't forget though, at 10:30 a.m. on Twitter, now, I run a Twitter space with the amazing May King Sang, where we talk about these stories in more detail. You can come along, you can have your say. If you go over to my Twitter, which is @spiderworking, I don't know if I pinned the tweet. I'm having a moment, but I will pin the tweet. You will. There is a pinned tweet, or there will be a pinned tweet, which will let you into that space. If you're on desktop, you can't actually join in with your voice. You can listen in though. If you are on mobile, you can join in and have your say as well. And we would love to have you. I know James will have some things to say about the Facebook ads, so I hope that you can join in. Katie, I'd love for you to come along and chat about video. Howard, I know you're going to come along, and yeah, I'd love you to have your say, maybe about what you think about these Twitter updates. So do come along at 10:30 a.m. That is it from me for this week. I will see you. If I don't see you at 10:30, I will see you same bat time, same bat place next week. Bye-bye.